Hey guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It is Nikki here. So today I have this. It's a very easy glam look. I've done these beautiful smoky halo eyes and then just paired it with a nude lip. I've also got a hair mask in my hair, but I like the kind of wet look that it's giving me. So that's probably like a trick in itself. But if you guys want to see how I created this makeup look, then just keep on watching. Okay, so I'm going to start off just with a clean base. I've got nothing on my skin at the moment, so I really need to hydrate it. And to do this, I'm going to be using the Drunk Elephant. This is the Virgin Marula Luxury Facial Oil. I do really love this. It's really hydrating, and it kind of just sinks into the skin really nicely, and I sort of use it as a primer and just to hydrate my skin as well. So I'm just going to take a couple of squirts of this and massage it all over my face and just take it down to my neck and chest area as well. For foundation today, I'm going to be using a high-end one. I'm going to be using the Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Light Wonder in the shade number 9. This is more of a luminous foundation, and that's what I like about it. I don't really like really heavy foundations or foundations that are very matte looking on my skin, preferably. So this one I'm going to pop all over the skin and give myself a really nice kind of just a base, but I still want my natural skin to peek through. I'm going to blend it all out using a damp beauty blender just to even it all out and make sure that it doesn't look cakey. Now I always, if my chest is exposed, will do it, because when you take photographs, you can just see the difference between your chest and your face. Even if the color is the same, you can kind of just see the raw skin up against foundation skin, and I don't like that look. For concealer now, I'm going to be taking the coverfx. I haven't picked this bad boy up in a while, so I thought I'd go back to it because my love right now is a Too Faced, but I don't want to show you guys that one in every single tutorial. This one is the new one. It's called the Powerplay Concealer, and I am in the shade N Medium 4. I do love this concealer. It's got amazing coverage, and it's got a really big dough applicator foot. Yeah, the little sponge tip, and I like that about a concealer. So I'm just going to pop this underneath my eyes and a little bit around my mouth area as well, and then I'm just going to beauty blender this out to get rid of all of my dark pigmentation. Now personally, I would say that this concealer is not as heavy as a Too Faced sculpting concealer, but it's still a really good concealer, and it's really not cakey. That's what I really like about it. What I've noticed about myself is when I go shopping now, I don't need to get color matched. I can tell what concealer is gonna look good, and I can tell, because I've been through so many concealers, I can just tell what's going to work on my dark circles. Now comment down below if you're like that as well. I know that I need it golden, but I still need it a little bit neutral. I can't have too much orange in, and I can't have too much pink in it. And I kind of like exactly know what shade I need for my skin tone. It's so weird. Okay, now that we're looking pretty much one dead tone, I need to add a little bit of highlight and contour to add dimension to my face. I'm going to be using the Kevyn This is a Sensual Skin Enhancer in the shade SX10. I would only carve out my brows with this and prime my eyes, but I'm feeling like I want a heavy under eye highlight today, and I want it quite light. So I'm going to go in with this with a flat brush. First I'm just going to pack it on underneath my eyes and get the shape and just pop the tiniest amount down the center of my face. And then I'm going to use my same beauty blender with the same kind of dirty side with the foundation on it, so it doesn't look too light, and I'm just going to buff everything out nicely and seamlessly. Now one thing I would say about this concealer, it is hella expensive. It is expensive, let's be honest. However, the Kevyn Sensual Skin Enhancer, I've had this probably for longer than I should do, really, probably like 2 years. And I've got so much left because you use the tiniest amount and it goes so far. It is so like heavy in coverage, and that's why I don't usually use it underneath my eyes, even though I like a heavy coverage, because it is stupidly creamy. So we will be setting this afterwards. But if you're looking for a creamy, heavy concealer that's going to last you a really long time, the Kevyn is a really good one to go for. Now I'm just going to cream bronze using my iconic London pigment stick in the shade 5.1. I'm just going to pop this on all the areas that I would bronze. This is just going to add a little bit of warmth back into my skin and a little bit of dimension, because I still want to look bronzy. With this kind of quick glam look, I need a bronze, and I like to cream bronze. It kind of just sets the tone for the base makeup. I'm then just going to use one of these iconic London HD brushes, and I'm going to use this brush just to slowly buff out this cream bronzer into my foundation. You don't want to be too rough with this because the brush will do all the work, so you just want to buff all the product out and create a really nice warmth to your skin. Let's move on to eyes now. I'm going to be just doing my brows really quickly as per usual. This doesn't really tend to change. I'm going to be using the Anastasia dipbrow pomade in the shade dark brow. And then I'm just taking my angle brush and I'm just going to fill in my brows as I usually like them. I like them a little bit thicker, I like them a little bit longer, and I like them pretty dark. So I don't like any kind of sparse hair situation going on. So I'm just going to fill them out and then I'm just going to brush through them using a spoolie. I'm just going to quickly buff over my eyes with that excess concealer, because what this is going to do is it's just going to create a kind of base for us, and you don't want any creases before you start adding eyeshadow powder. Now the eyeshadow palette that I've chosen to use, and I kind of just want one eyeshadow palette that I mostly concentrate with, is going to be the NYX. This is the Grind eyeshadow palette. And inside you've got loads of kind of neutral colours, but I'm going to specifically be concentrating on these brown tones. So the first shade that I'm going to take is actually this kind of mustardy, yellowy, warm colour that we're just going to pop straight into the crease, just so we've laid a colour down. So I'm just going to take a blending brush, go into this colour, and then just buff that into the crease and smoke it up towards the brow bone as our initial transition colour. So because I'm going for more of a halo type eye, I am just dotting this transition colour in the inner and outer corner as well, just so that colour is laid down as opposed to coming out, because usually I like to come out quite far, but we are going more in a half semicircle shape today. Okay, now that my crease colour, transition colour is laid down, we can go straight in to a darker shade. So I'm going to go straight into this darkest brown in the palette, and I'm going to use a kind of fluffy brush, but it's flat, by Anastasia, the one that came in the Novena palette. And I'm just going to dot this or pat this on into the inner corner and pat it onto the outer corner. And then I'm going to use the other edge to just buff it out nicely, just so it isn't too harsh and buffed out, smoked out, so we're getting darkness like a halo would. Now don't worry if this is looking a little bit messy and kind of blown out. What the tactic is you want to blur it out and then pack on the darker colour again, and then blur it out, just so we get a really nice kind of depth to the darkness. Now I'm going to go back into this eyeshadow palette, and I'm going to take this warmer brown right here, because I don't want to go straight into the deep dark brown for our crease. I'm going to take a smaller blending brush and I'm just going to merge everything together in our crease, so we've got a little bit of depth in there just to connect the halo eye together. I'm going to take that same warmish reddish brown in the palette and I'm just going to run this on our lower lash line and then just follow it up with that darker brown really close to our lash line, so we get a really nice smoked out look. Now for the center, I wanted it to be popping, like I want it to be very bright, and I want to add a little bit of glitter maybe as well. I also kind of want to go for something that is a little bit maybe more rose goldish, silverish, because I never tend to go down that route. So I'm going to be using the iconic London. Now I'm taking a little bit of a risk. This is their Chrome Flash Eye Pot in the shade Cosmic. It is absolutely stunning and very metallic, which is what I want to go for, but it's a cream, so it's not a powder. It's going to be a little bit more difficult to blend out. I'm going to take a flat brush and apply a little bit to the center, and then quickly I'm just going to try my best to blend it out just in the center and not create a mess, just to get a really bright center highlight to this halo eye. Okay, so the one thing that I find with this product is actually I was fine using a brush just to blend it out, is that you don't want to layer too much, because then it sort of gets like crumbly, and that is with trial and error. It is an eye cream and you kind of just want to smooth it over and leave it. If you start playing with it too much, it will start to crumble, so you don't want to add too much. But I'm happy with that colour. I definitely want to add a little bit of glitter. Now for glitter, I want to use Lit Cosmetics. This is in the shade Liquid Metal Addicted. If you mix this with the Lit Cosmetics liquid that it comes with, like the glue, then it will turn into a metallic finish, almost like the one that I've got on my eye. But today I want to use it, I haven't done this before, but I want to just use it as glitter because it's got beautiful flecks of silver in it. So I'm just going to use my flat brush again and pack this very gently onto the center of this eye. Okay, so I'm a big believer in taking risks. However, I don't feel like the Lit Cosmetics work for me, just because you are supposed to mix it with a liquid, and I mixed it with a Krylon mixing medium, and it sort of turned like this kind of metallic mess almost on my eye, but I don't hate it. It is a little bit chunky right here where I've tried to work with it, but it kind of just looks like big chunks of glitter, so I'm just going to work with it. Now I'm just going to go back over these edges of where the metallic is and just kind of buff it out, just so I can create more of a seamless finish to the halo eye. Now I'm going to go in with black eyeliner. I'm going to tightline and do my waterline and really smoke my waterline out to pop it in between my lashes and then smoke it out using a pencil brush, because I really want that darkness and smoky sultry look. And to achieve this, I'm going to be using the Rock & Co Iconic Liquid Eye Pencil in Bedroom Black by Charlotte Tilbury. The thing about this Charlotte Tilbury pencil is it's expensive, but once it sets and it's not moving anywhere. So for you guys that have runny eyes, or you're worried about your kohl moving and smudging, this one absolutely doesn't. Now I'm going to add a little bit of mascara to my lashes just to coat them, because we are going to go in with false lashes. So I'm going to be using the Collection Lash Surge Mascara. This is just a cheap, but it does the job kind of mascara, especially when you're just wearing falsies. I'm going to apply a couple of layers of this. Now I want to highlight my brow bone. I'm going to be using the Revolution. This is their quad in the shade Ignite. I really like this quad. It's just an everyday kind of quad, and it really highlights kind of a piercing highlight. If you like more of a blinding highlight, you can wear it more subtle, but you just have to layer less. So I'm just going to take these two colors right here, and then I'm just going to pop them onto my brow bone and blend them out. Let's move on to cheeks before our application of lashes. I'm going to be using, this turned up in my PR, and it's called Lila, I believe. It's a pigment infusion, which I'm not too sure what that means, but I'm assuming that it's a blusher and then you can use it on your eyes. It's a beautiful color. This is in the shade Scandal, and I'm going to be using a fluffy brush just to use this as a peachy blusher, and I'm going to pop this baby on. Okay, so I forgot to set my under eyes. I'm going to be using the Airspun Loose Face Powder as per usual, and I'm not baking today. I'm just going to set my under eyes because my concealer is very creamy and I don't want it to move, so I'm just going to pack it on until the powder absorbs that concealer. For highlighter, let's go back into the Revolution Quad, and I'm going to take a mix of the two bottom colors, and then just using a duo fiber brush, I'm going to highlight my cheekbones and also just the center of my face as well. For lashes now, I'm going to be using the Tatti lashes in the style TL3. These used to be my favorite, and I do love Tatti lashes. I need to get my hands on some more. TL3s are my absolute favorite, so I'm just going to be popping these on, and they're just going to kind of flirt out and come out at the end, which is going to give a little bit more of a feline flick, which is what I like. So I'm just going to chuck these eyelashes on. I'm just going to pop on a little bit of the same mascara on my bottom lashes now to complete the eyes. Moving on to lips now. I want a matte nude lip as per my usual style. I'm going to go in with NYX. This is the lip liner in the shade Sandstorm. As you can tell from the size of it, I love this one. I'm going to line my lips. I like to overline my lips a little bit and just fill in the whole of the lip as well. Now, as this colour is quite cool toned, I like it, but it's a bit too cool toned. I'm going to pop a little bit of MAC's Honeylove in the centre and then just buff that out to give a little bit of brightness to this lip. And then lastly, I'm just going to spritz myself with a little bit of Revolution's Hyaluronic Fix all over, just to kind of set everything in place and refresh any powder sitting on the skin. And that, guys, is it for my Easy Glam Halo Eye kind of smoky look. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Let me know down below what you want to see next from me, and if it is more makeup tutorials, because I love doing them for you. This one is a little bit more on the simpler side, but let me know if you like videos like this. Also, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Yeah, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow me on Instagram. You know the jazz. I love you guys so very much, and I will see you in my next video. Mwah.